All right, hello once again. This is Jeff Scott, Information Technology Instructor in the Application and Website Development, or AWD program at Rankin Technical College, Wentzville. A couple of my students have come to me and said that even though we're a few weeks into class, the AWD1100 C# programming class, they're still having a problem with some of the material. So I've decided to kind of backtrack and go back, and I'm going to build a simple payroll application trying to incorporate in each chapter some of the features that were in that chapter. So again, our book is Murock's C# 2015 by Ann Boehm and Joel Murock. And so far in this book, we have covered the first 5 chapters. So how to get started with Visual Studio, how to design a Windows Forms application, how to design and test a Windows Forms application, how to work with numeric and string data, and how to code control structures. And in today's class, today is Friday, the 29th of January, we're supposed to go over Chapter 6, how to code methods and event handlers, and Chapter 7, how to handle exceptions and validate data. So I'm going to jump right into Chapter 1. Now, 1, 2, and 3, I'm just going to build 2 applications, but I'll try to go over them and all of the other information, hopefully that people may have missed on or whatever. Okay, so Chapter 1 was an intro to the .NET environment, a tour of Visual Studio, how to test a project. Okay, so let's take that from the top. And what I'll do is, this is not that different from what I'm going to build in just a couple minutes. First, I'll build it as a console app and then as a Windows Forms app, but it'll be simpler than this. There'll be a title up here. There'll be a label that says hours worked, a text box that's, that where you can put in your hours worked, a label that says hourly rate, a text box for the hourly rate, a label that says gross pay, and a read-only text box that will hold the gross pay. So it'll have just those 7 components, plus a calculate button and an exit button, and I'll even put a clear button in there as well. So we're going to build this twice, first as a console application, then as a Windows Forms application. So as you can see with Windows Forms, because those are the 2 that we build in this class, a Windows Forms app, as it says, runs in its own window on the user's PC and consists of 1 or more forms. So that ours initially will have only 1 form in it. All right. Now, it's not my place here. We are using the Community Edition of Visual C#, but I'm not going to sit, because we've gone over this stuff in class, so I'm not going to go over these components, what the hardware and the software, etc. is all about. Now, as we build these, it's up to me to show you the toolbox, the form design area, the Solution Explorer, and the Properties window. Any of these can be docked. They're dockable, meaning you can move them anywhere you want. All right, I'll even do that on purpose and kind of goof them up and then show you how to set them back again. All right, so how the application is compiled and run. Basically, again, the key takeaway for us is that you have to click the green arrow at the top to get it to run. All right, so here's your tour. This is what it'll look like when we get in. Now, this was Visual Studio 2015. Since we're running 2019, of course, it looks a little different. I can show you ways to open and close a project. Not a big thing in there. And the form designer, again, that's your area in here. And as I mentioned, toolbox, form designer area or window. This is the standard toolbar. There's your menu. You can right-click on the menu and bring up other toolbars if you want to. This is the Solution Explorer. This is the Properties window. We're going to go through all of these as we run through this. All right. Remember, basically for each file that we work on in here, you're going to have some kind of a form file with a .cs, and you'll have some kind of a regular form file. And we'll look at that in just a minute. All right, so the Solution Explorer, you can go in here and you can add things, you can remove things. One thing that Mr. Smith and Mr. Gudmisted have kind of taught me, without them probably even knowing, is the fact that it's not a bad idea. I'm going to make just one folder that's called Payroll, and I'm going to put all of my solutions in there regardless. I'm going to put the chapter that it's for and the kind of solution it is. But you can put multiple projects in the same solution, and that's what I'm going to do. And I'll use the Solution Explorer to do that. Again, if you click here, you can pin the toolbox so it's open. It's not right now. All right. or you can have it so that it's closed. Right now it's hidden. And you'll notice again, these are all docked. And when you do that, I'll show you how to put them back into their natural or default location. Again, when you test a project, the easiest way is to click right here. This will be green as you're testing it right there. And you can tell that you're running it because you'll have this square over here that's red. So to stop the run, you'll click there. There are really three different modes that you can be in here. You can be in design mode, which this is green, meaning you're not running, and this is not even red, so you're designing the program. You can be in run mode, all right, and when you're in run mode, this red thing will be showing because you just clicked here. Or if you put, for example, if you put breakpoints in here, you can be in debug mode, and we'll take a look at each one of those. All right, we're not going to worry about upgrading because of the version that we're using should be fine. Everything that we're using in here is the latest and greatest. Now that's it for Chapter 1. Maybe that was a waste of your time, but hopefully you got a little something out of this. So I'm going to call these Payroll, and this will be Payroll Chapter 1. I'm going to come back with Chapter 2 momentarily.